Hey guys, welcome to the channel and another video. Today I'm going to be watching The Wizard of Oz by Victor Fleming, starring Judy Garland and I'm sure other famous actors of the time that I don't recognize. I know Fleming as the director of Gone with the Wind, one of the most famous films ever. I watched it a long time ago and I don't remember much. The line, frankly my dear, I don't give a damn, kind of stuck with me for some reason. What I do know is Judy Garland was a huge star back in the day with a long career, and I guess I need to watch more of her films because I've heard quite a bit about her acting. Anyways, about this movie, I'm obviously aware of The Wizard of Oz. I read the book back in school, and I did watch cartoon adaptations of it while I was growing up. I kind of knew that the 1939 version is considered the best or the definitive, but since it was such an old movie, I never actually gave it a chance. More recently, a lot of my subscribers and patrons, they've been recommending this classic, and I guess it's time to watch the movie that inspired a generation. If you have any other films from this time period that you'd like me to review on the channel, please leave it in the comments below. But before we get into it, to help support the channel, I have a Patreon page for full-length reviews and reactions to this movie and over 170 movies, 2 TV shows, early access, and weekly polls for what to watch next. You'll need your own copy to watch along. The link's in the description below, by the way. Please consider being a patron. Please subscribe to the channel. Click that bell icon for instant notifications. Do check out my other videos. Like if you like this video, dislike it if you didn't. With all that being said, let's get started. The Wizard of Oz, Fleming, Garland, let's go. I think this might be the oldest film I've seen on the channel so far. The Wizard of Oz. Wow, okay.
She isn't coming yet, Toto. Did she hurt you?
Toto. Again, I know the basic plot of the story. Most of the characters should be familiar to me, although I haven't read or seen an adaptation for over 20 years now.
Oh, but Aunt Em, Miss Gulch hit Toto right over the back with a rake just because she says he gets in her garden and chases her nasty old cat every day.
70. Dorothy, please. Now look at Dorothy. You ain't using your head about, Miss Gulch. Think you didn't have any brains at all.
I have so got brains.
Well, why don't you use them?
Are you going to let that old Gulch heifer try and buffalo you? She ain't nothing to be afraid of. Have a little courage, that's all.
I'm not afraid of her.
Well, that scene just showed her to be an adventurous person. I wonder how much of this movie was filmed on sets?
Some place where there isn't any trouble. Do you suppose there is such a place, Toto?
The Land of Oz.
There must be. Beyond the rain. Somewhere over the rain.
Is it more of a musical, this movie? Because I love this song, but I'm also concerned that if there's too much songs, the YouTube edit will be very restrictive.
Where troubles melt like lemon drops away above the chimney top.
She wants to get away from it all.
I'm all but lame from the bite on my leg.
Me, she bit you?
No, her dog.
Oh, she bit her dog, eh?
Not the brightest tool in the drawer.
Destroyed? Toto? Oh, you can't. You mustn't.
Here's his order allowing me to take him. Unless you want to go against the law.
Oh no.
You go away. Oh, I'll bite you myself.
Dorothy.
You wicked old witch. Uncle Henry, Auntie Em, don't let him take Toto. Don't let him take him, please.
Let me have
Stop.
Good dog. Going back home.
Toto, darling. Oh, I got you back. We've got to get away. We've got to run away.
Well, house guests, huh? Now, why are you running away? No, don't tell me. They don't understand you at home. They don't appreciate you. What's this I see? A house with a picket fence, and a barn with a weather vane and a running horse.
That's our farm.
Someone has hurt her. Someone has just about broken her heart.
Oh really? You don't say.
She's putting her hand on her heart. Oh, she's dropping down on the bed.
Oh, no. Oh, I've got to go home right away.
But what's this? I thought you were going along with me.
Oh, no, I have to get to her right away.
Interesting. He's I guess he's not a bad person, but the tornado is coming. I mean, how did they actually achieve that? With compositing work? Wow. Again, the production side is very impressive for 1939. There are a lot of moving elements in this shot. And they can't hear her, obviously. Oh, wow, nice. Nice little prop. I mean, obviously the special effects, the visual effects here don't hold up today, but they're very well done for the time. I can see the compositing work. Just casually waving. I mean, the story is implied to be happening in Dorothy's head, but it's never confirmed. Oh, did she transform into the Wicked Witch? She did call her the witch earlier.
Oh.
Is she here? I like the use of absolute silence after that tornado. Oh, holy crap! What a transformation! So incredibly colorful. I bet the audience back then, they were flabbergasted because it's 1939. I'm assuming one of the earliest full Technicolor films. I wonder how Technicolor worked, because they didn't have color film back then, so it was done in post-processing, if I'm not mistaken. It really looks magical compared to her farm.
Toto, I have a feeling we're not in Kansas anymore.
That's the famous line. I have a feeling we're not in Kansas anymore. Wow, yeah. That's more compositing work. I forget her name. She's the good witch.
Are you a good witch or a bad witch?
She isn't a witch at all.
I'm not a witch at all.
Huh?
I'm Dorothy Gale from Kansas.
The Munchkins call me because a new witch has just dropped a house on the Wicked Witch of the East. And there's the house, and here you are, and that's all that's left of the Wicked Witch of the East.
Oh.
But I've never heard of a beautiful witch before.
Only bad witches are ugly.
I don't know what to say to that. Only bad witches are ugly.
The wind began to switch, the house to pitch, and suddenly the hinges started to unhitch.
They got ponies. Not big horses. I mean, yeah, I think this is actually a musical film, which is obviously not an issue for me, but I'm actually worried about the YouTube edit. Since I already know the story, or at least know most of the story, what impresses me more is actually the production aspect of the film.
As tall runner, I must hover, I thoroughly.
A certificate of death for the Wicked Witch of the East.
She's really most sincerely dead.
And I think they manipulated the voice of these little people to a higher register. Another film I watched on the channel was Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, the Gene Wilder version. That also had a lot of little people in production. Yeah, the production aspect is pretty well done. It's the Wicked Witch of the West. Oh, it's being played by the same actress as Mrs. Gulch. I like that.
Who killed the Witch of the East? Was it you? Aren't you forgetting the ruby slippers? The slippers. Yes. The slippers.
The infamous slippers. Oh?
They're gone. Give me back my slippers. I'm the only one that knows how to use them. They're no use to you. You have no power here. They're gone before somebody drops a house on you too. Very well. I'll bide my time.
That you will.
I can't go the way I came. No, that's true. The only person who might know would be the great and wonderful Wizard of Oz himself.
That's right.
And remember, never let those ruby slippers off your feet for a moment.
How do I start for Emerald City?
And all you do is follow the yellow brick road.
The Yellow Brick Road. So many parts of this movie, or this book, they're so iconic.
Follow, 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 follow the yellow brick road. You're off to see the wizard, the wonderful Wizard of Oz. You'll find he is a wizard of whiz, if ever a wiz there was.
Yeah, the Munchkins appear to be so very happy all the time. I don't think I could stand it personally. But wow. Again, the painting in the background, it's beautiful. I think this movie is primarily shot on sets. And you can see the camera shake as it's panning downwards. Cameras were so heavy back then.
Now which way do we go?
Pardon me. That way is a very nice way.
The Scarecrow!
I can't make up my mind. I haven't got a brain.
Oh, he's being played by one of the farmhands.
Can't you get down?
Down? No, you see, I
actually like the prosthetic work on his face.
What? Oh, I'm a failure because I haven't got a brain.
What would you do with a brain if you had one?
And my head, I'd be scratching while my thoughts were busy hatching if I only had a brain. I'd unravel every riddle for any individual in trouble or in pain.
If he had a brain. I mean, the acting is, I think, meant to be very over-exaggerated. I can imagine how popular this movie was back in the day.
If I only had a brain. You're going to see a wizard? Do you think if I went with you, this wizard would give me some brains?
But even if he didn't, you'd be no worse off than you are now.
That's true.
Yes, that's true.
Off to see the wizard, the wonderful Wizard of Oz. We hear he is a wizard of whiz, if ever a whiz there was. Ouch!
What do you think you're doing?
It's the Tin Man! Who doesn't have a heart. Oh wait, is he also being played by one of the farmhands we saw earlier?
Man,
I think so.
did you say something? He said oil can.
Oil can what?
Oil can?
Oil can what? That was funny.
The other side.
I love these little sound effects. They go a long way.
My goodness, I can talk again. Oh, oil my arms, please. Oil my elbows. Oh, the tinsmith forgot to give me a heart. When a man's an
Another
empty
song.
kettle, he should be on his mettle.
I actually like this costume, and I think it must have been a nightmare to wear during production.
I'd be friends with the sparrows and the boy who shoots the arrows if I only
The
had.
songs are so catchy, holy crap. I love his physical acting. It's even better than the Scarecrow, how rigid his body movement is. Yeah, this costume looks so uncomfortable. Nice!
We were just wondering why you couldn't come with us to the Emerald City to ask the Wizard of Oz for a heart.
Wow! The visual effects there, that was impressive. How the fireball moved across the screen and transformed into a real fire. It was almost seamless.
I'm not afraid of her. I'll see you get safely to the wizard now, whether I get a brain or not.
But I feel as if I've known you all the time.
Well, you kind of have.
Do you suppose we'll meet any wild animals?
We might.
I bet you will.
Lions and tigers and bears.
Yay! We finally get to meet the cowardly lion too. It's just a dude in a costume.
I'll fight you with one paw tied behind my back.
I like the tail and how it's moving.
I'll fight you standing on one foot.
Shame on you.
What did you do that for? I didn't buy them.
No, but you tried to.
I haven't any courage at all.
Are we going to hear a song for the lion too?
Well, it's all right now. The wizard will fix everything.
I'm afraid there's no denying I'm just a dandelion, a fate I don't deserve.
What accent is that?
I get to see the wizard, the wonderful Wizard of Oz. Here he is, the Wizard of a Wiz, if ever a Wiz there was.
Aha!
Of course, the Wicked Witch is seeing everything.
Poppies will put them to sleep. Sleep.
I don't remember every single nuance in the story, but I remember the broad strokes.
What's happening? What is it?
What do we do? Help! Help! It's no use screaming at a time like this! Nobody will hear you! Help! Help! Help!
Hey, look who decided to show up.
Oh.
Oh, curse it! Curse it! Somebody always helps that girl.
What a huge door they probably had to make.
We want to see the wizard!
The wizard?
What kind of a horse is
A
that?
purple horse.
I've never seen a horse like that before.
Now and never will again, I fancy. There's only one of him and he's it.
Chop, 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 and a couple of la-di-das. That's how the crickets speak all day.
Wait, wasn't the horse just purple? Now it's red? Oh, wow, it's yellow now. It's intentional, holy crap.
Rub, rub there, whether you're tin or bras. That's how we keep you in repair in the merry old land of Oz.
Dude, the witch is here?
Surrender, Dorothy. If I were king of the forest.
Yeah, I think this movie is primarily a musical. There have been, what, 7 or 8 songs already. Again, I'm a little worried about the YouTube edit.
Your Majesty, if you were king, you wouldn't be afraid of anything?
Not nobody. What makes a king out of a slave? Courage. What makes the flag on the mast to wave? Cuz I was just thinking, I really don't want to see the wizard this much. I better wait for you outside.
What a beautifully made set with actual pyrotechnics and great compositing work.
We've come to ask you.
Silence!
Oh, Jim. You ought to be ashamed of yourself, frightening him like that when he came to you for help.
But first, you must prove yourselves worthy. Bring me the broomstick of the Witch of the West.
Oh, right. I forgot about this part. Honestly speaking, the most impressive parts of the film have been the songs and the production front.
Don't you believe in spooks?
No. Why only... Oh!
Take your army to the haunted forest and bring me that girl and her dog.
I think this is a pretty famous scene too. Where have I heard this? I think it was a homage film. Ooh. Beautiful transition from the wires to actually running. I just watched the original Planet of the Apes a couple of weeks ago on the channel, and you can see how prosthetic technology has advanced in just, what, 25 years or so. Because the prosthetic work in that movie was just amazing compared to this, which isn't bad by any means.
What are you going to do with my dog? Give him back to me.
All in good time, my little pretty. All in good time.
Oh, they're protected by a spell.
Those slippers will never come off as long as you're alive.
Oh, Toto!
Catching you, fool! That's how much longer you've got to be alive. And it isn't long, my pretty. It isn't long.
Dorothy! Where are you? It's me. It's Auntie M.
There's Toto. Where did he come from?
What's that? What's that?
That's the castle of the Wicked Witch.
I've got a plan how to get in there.
Fine. He's got a plan.
And you're going to lead us.
Yeah. Me?
Yes, you.
I gotta get around there.
That's right.
Good bit of visual humor there. Oh. They actually won the fight.
There.
Going so soon? That's right. Don't hurt them right away.
Oh, it happened.
I thought a good little girl like you could destroy my beautiful wickedness.
Water, a witch's only weakness.
She did. You cured her.
I didn't mean to kill her. May we have it?
Please, and take it with you.
Oh, thank you so much.
Oh, they're back.
Why have you come back? Go away and come back tomorrow.
Tomorrow? Oh, but I want to go home now.
Oh, Toto's going to reveal it. I always thought the real wizard was in the back, not right out in front, but I don't know, it works.
Oh, I am the great and powerful Wizard of Oz.
Wait, is he being played by the same charlatan wizard we saw at the beginning of the film?
Back where I come from, we have universities, seats of great learning, the honorary degree of PhD.
THD?
Yeah, that's Doctor of Thinkology.
Thinkology.
Sum of the square roots of any two sides of an isosceles triangle is equal to the square root of the remaining side.
Somehow, he has a brain now.
I award you the Triple Cross. You are now a member of the Legion of Courage.
All he needed was a little push.
You want a heart. You don't know how lucky you are not to have one. That a heart is not judged by how much you love, but by how much you are loved by others.
Wow, wise words. Very wise words. State Fair Omaha. That's a nice touch. Oh no,
Oh,
Toto!
Toto, come back. Toto.
What a bad time to see a cat.
Oh, no, I'll never get home.
Stay with us then, Dorothy.
Guess who that is? We already know how Dorothy finally gets back to Kansas.
If I ever go looking for my heart's desire again, I won't look any further than my own backyard.
Now those magic slippers will take you home in 2 seconds.
Oh, Toto too?
Toto, too. There's no place like
There's no place like home.
There's no place like home.
That's another famous line.
There's no place like home.
And she's back
There's no place like home.
to old time Kansas. And the color changed again, back to sepia.
But I did leave you, Uncle Henry. That's just the trouble. And I tried to get back for days and days.
There, lie quiet now. You just had a bad dream.
Oh, nobody believes her. And all three of them are here.
Hickory, you couldn't forget my face, could you?
But it wasn't a dream. Doesn't anybody believe me?
Of course we believe you, though.
Oh, but anyway, Toto, we're home. Home. Oh, Auntie Em. There's no place like home.
There is no place like home. Oh, the end. That was a lot of fun. Okay, I took a little time to collect my thoughts. First off, no doubt that was a classic. The directing by Victor Fleming was pretty good, and the story itself is timeless, but what really impressed me were the songs, the performance from Judy Garland, and the production aspect of the movie. Especially the sets, the early visual and special effects, the costumes, and the makeup and prosthetic work. I can't find any outright criticisms of the movie. It was clearly made for kids, so I had to look through that particular lens through a kid's eyes. There were logical inconsistencies in the plot, but I really cannot blame the film for those. It was perfect for what it was, or what it's meant to be. Let's talk a little about the directing by Victor Fleming and the adapted screenplay by Noel Langley, Florence Ryerson, and Edgar Allan Wolfe. The story is based on one of the most famous children's book of all time, so I don't think there is any point in discussing the plot in this review. I think they were faithful, or at least pretty faithful, in adapting L. Frank Baum's novel. I read it a long time ago, but I remember the broad strokes of the story. I believe a couple of creative liberties were taken with the finer points in the story, but I do feel like they added to the movie and it worked well. I expected a song or two in the film, but not that many. I probably mentioned this before. but I have to cut out the majority of the songs for the YouTube edit simply due to YouTube's copyright rules. Don't blame me. That's okay though. If you want to see the full uncut reaction, you'll find it on the Patreon. The link's in the description below. Anyways, I think the film followed a traditional 3-act structure. The first act was in the farm in Kansas and the tornado. The second act was the journey to the Emerald City through the yellow brick road. And the third act was the Wicked Witch's death and the main reveal of the real Wizard of Oz. I think all the performances, almost all the performances were great. They were very over-exaggerated, almost like they're in a play. But I do feel like that was on purpose. Judy Garland really stood out as the standout performer in the movie. She was so full of life and her line delivery sounded so naive, and she sang beautifully. I can imagine the film lighting the imaginations of so many kids who got to see it when it first came out. The colors in 1939, it must have been magical back then. The music and the score of this film, it was special. Somewhere Over the Rainbow, it's a song I've known all my life, but I never knew it was probably originally used in this movie. I don't know whether it was written for this film, but it was beautifully used and sang by Garland, I think. And I have to admit, all the other songs in the film, they were very catchy, and I found myself singing along with a lot of them. Even halfway through, I caught the beat, which was great. That means the songs have aged so well. The sound design itself, that was great too, with the squeaking noises made by the Tin Man, the sounds of the Castle of the Witch, the whimpering sounds from the Cowardly Lion, to the magical notes when the bunch were traveling through the yellow brick road. And speaking of the music, the dance choreography of each and every song was fantastic, and you could clearly see the amount of effort given to almost every aspect of the production. The sets of the entire film were probably my favorite aspect of the movie. I mean, you could tell that it was all done in close sets, but everything from the background paintings blending seamlessly to the foreground, to the excellently made props, the use of technicolor to bring everything to life, and the very impressive makeup and costuming work on everybody really, especially the Tin Man, the Cowardly Lion, and the Scarecrow. It was very impressive. So were the little people. It was all brilliant. The number of extras, especially the little people, were quite surprising too. This is a movie I really want to know how it was made. If there are any documentaries about the production side of this movie, please let me know in the comments. I'd love to see that. I really enjoyed this movie. Overall, The Wizard of Oz was a timeless classic. The performances from the entire cast, especially Judy Garland, was unforgettable. The songs were so catchy and memorable. The story itself was faithful to the novel, and the production aspect was the most impressive for a film I've seen released around that time. Especially the sets, the costumes, the makeup, and the early use of Technicolor. Thank you for this wonderful recommendation. I can confidently say this movie is a must-watch for every single person, regardless of their age. Anyways, thank you for watching. I have a Patreon page. Consider being a Patreon. Subscribe to this channel. Click that bell icon for instant notifications. Do check out my other videos. Like if you like this video, dislike it if you didn't. I will see you in the next one. Bye.